This latest chapter of Choujin X was fantastic because the fact that it showcased Ellie's new Choujin powers ability. Because the ending of this chapter, she was able to absorb Charada into her hand, and to the point where we see Ellie, she was able to break her limit and try to go ahead and fight for the protection of Tokyo, because one of the sentences that she said was that we are returning home. And that was a true touching moment because it showcased the friendship that Ellie has for Tokyo and how close their friendship is, especially the fact that it probably indicates that Ellie's Trojan powers, it might not be smoke. It's probably that she has the ability to actually steal Trojan powers, because it kind of foreshadowed in chapter 1 when she first met Charada and how he was able to activate and have the plane exploded. And then we saw like how Ellie's body was covering with smoke, and it kind of looks like her Trojan powers had activated, which was a smoke ability, but it seems like she was actually absorbing the smoke, because it even Charada later in that chapter, he even thought that his Trojan powers, like his smoke abilities, was even gotten weaker, and he noticed that and he thought that it was age. But in actuality, it was actually Ellie. She was able to absorb his Trojan powers, and especially too with the backstory of how Ellie's mom, how she was this big time criminal and how she uses the steel and stuff. It just makes sense on how Ellie, she is able to absorb and steal the abilities of Trojans, because she even showcased this in this chapter, how she was fighting to survive, because she was just like, I want to survive, I want to live, because her whole goal in Ellie is to have a wonderful life, to be rich and have a wonderful life, because Ellie grew up in poverty. Ellie grew up knowing that the fact that her mom was a criminal. Ellie knows all of these things, but she wants to be a good person. And also too, she wants to look after her boy Tokyo, because especially Tokyo, he was one of the best part of this story, because when Tokyo activated his beast personification with the wings, and he was able enough to save Ellie, because he was able to go higher and higher and save Ellie from being burned to death. So Tokyo was flying straight to Charada, breaking his neck, headbutting him, to the point where Charada just fell to the ground, and Tokyo went in and grabbed Ellie, saving her from hitting from the ground, because she was like up in the air. And to the point where Tokyo, he was so exhausted because it's his first time actually using the wings, and on top of that, he was low on energy, that he couldn't think that he would be able enough to transform again. His whole body just gave up on him, to the point where he can't even move his body, and things are starting to get really serious because Chida, he started getting up. So while Ellie, she is waking up and realizing that Tokyo saved her, she also realized that she is shirtless, and she was just like, oh my gosh, you can see my boobs. And Tokyo was just like, don't worry, you don't got Eddie. And then Tokyo got smacked by Ellie. And Tokyo was just wild at this chapter, because that was like the most funniest thing. But Chada gets up and he goes ahead and tries to attack them. And Ellie is just like, damn, he's not dead yet. And then so at this moment, she's also shocked, because Tokyo, he can't even get up because his whole body just gave up on him. So he can't even move. So Tokyo's telling Ellie like, yo, you gotta run. Just go ahead and save yourself. And Ellie was just like, nah, I'm not gonna leave you. And besides, my dream is to become rich and have a better life for my grandpa and have an easier life. And also too, that I also want to eat a ton of food and grubs with my boy Tokyo and my hubby. So all of a sudden, Ellie goes ahead and she powers up, and she was like, look, we're going to get out of this island together. And then so she goes ahead and attacks Charada before he even say anything. And then so she was just like, I'm putting an end to this. And anyways, I want to live to survive. And she goes on ahead and she just turns up the heat of her smoke abilities, trying to burn Chadada. And she's just pushing her limits further and further away as she goes ahead and she monologues. And Chadada, he's fighting back because he was just like, no way, you're going to kill me. So he goes ahead and maneuver her and goes ahead and hit her from the back, like slamming his fist on her back. And then as she crashes down to the floor, and then he goes on ahead and continue attacking her as Eddie is like, come on, Smoke, come on, it can't be too late. As she is saying that she doesn't want to die and she wants to like live because she has so many things to look forward to. She thought that she was going to study and be proud of herself, but she's going to die at this rate. If I die, then I'm gone. I will disappear from this world forever and I won't breathe or think or exist, which means everything is going to disappear. But then she got the courage and the strength to go ahead and stop Chadada from attacking her. And she says, I don't want that. As Chadada says, how dare you? You're going to die, young lady. But then Ellie revert back and she says that I'm going to live, even if it's going to steal everything from you. And then she activated probably her Choujin powers, which is the powers who actually like steal them or absorb them, because she starts to absorb Chadada into the palm of her hand because Chadada started to go spiral. His whole body and the smoke just started to go into Ellie's hands. And it was a cool sequence seeing Ellie, how she's absorbing Chadada, his Choujin powers, and himself. And to the point where the chapter ends as Ellie is just looking like, what the hell just happened? And the chapter just ends while you just see Ellie is just standing there with her palms in the air as Chadada seems to be gone. But I do think that Chadada is not dead. I do think that we're probably going to see him later in the chapter, because I don't think this is going to be the end of Chadada. But as of right now, it might seem like Chadada is dead, but we'll wait and see. But this chapter was 100% incredible. It showcased Ellie, her new power up, because we went from Tokyo developing his wings and having a new power up to Ellie showcasing what new ability she's able, which is really incredible. And so now the big question is, what's Ellie's true ability? Is her powers is still able to steal abilities or to absorb Choujin powers? So we will find out later on as the story continues. But this chapter was amazing. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think and what you guys theories are, because this whole thing of Ellie, how she was able to absorb Chadada, was insane. But if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monto Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.